Okay, for this exercise, we'll be using a picture that taken by Aiden S., who is sitting in our class as an example. This photo basically a really good story to begin with, but we're going to teach about a basic adjustment to the photography. But the first thing we should do anytime we're doing adjustment is to make a copy of that layer by doing Command J. As soon as Command J, you will notice that it will create a new layer. To that layer. So that way we have the original layer here. That's really important because you can have those three of these. So technically the basic adjustment will be kind of images adjustment, and you can come like brightness and contrast, right? You can make the images brighter, you can add more contrast, but this gives us a limitation of what we can do here. So I'm not going to do that. What I want you guys to do is to use a filter that's called Camera Raw filter. When these show up, there's gonna be a lot of things I want you to play with. Okay, the simple thing is like this is what I call a dark and light value. You can see that this is where I can control the black value. Over here, I'll control the light value by that sliding in, and you can see when that happens, these bars are being adjusted. There are also a lot of things like exposure. Exposure is how much light goes to the camera. So let's say your camera didn't have a good lighting, you can use it here to actually like drop it off the contrast, and maybe like drop the shadow off and bring up the highlight. So this kind of thing can really improve your photography by just playing with it for a minute. Like temperature is cool. You can bring up the warm temperature, the tint of the color, like the green tint. You add more green. You can do more vibrant to make the color really vibrant. So it's more green in the back. Like for example, the back is too much, you can just start to drop them out, and you can see the difference in them. Okay, so that's just one of the adjustments. So here's after, here's before. Right? So now what I want you to do is create another one, because I want you to do at least 3 different adjustments and have 3 different examples of these. So that way you can submit one of the best ones for the final project. So once again, I make Command J. I come up here where I say Camera Raw filter. Maybe this time I come over here to the bottom. Like this one is really cool to comment. You can see they created this like glow effects around the object. Like just to soften the edges, you can bring up the these details, the clarity to make it more focused. Right, you can see start to bring emphasis to these. Right, the texture is really good because you can bump up the texture, the detail, combined with the saturation. You can see the trick is to pay attention to the detail that it does. You have a lot more than that you can play with. But I just want you to use this tool or this filter basically to at least adjust to like 3 different adjustments for the exercise, but use these to like finalize your final projects, right? Like let's say you have the good photography story, and you can use these to adjust and play around with. So there are a lot more to that. Like for example, you can play with curve. You can adjust the highlight here. You can have color mixer, where you can mix more color. Like you can add more green to the work. You can add more yellow to the work, more green. That way, it's telling you what to do, right? You can have color grading. This is really cool too. You can adjust the color like this. Don't over exaggerate the photo. Let's say you want more green to the work. You can see that it can come up like, and that's the mid-tone, of course, right? So mid-tone is a middle tone value. So you just gotta play with it, and here's how you get your photo to be a little bit better. So once again, for this exercise, I'm going to require you guys to have 3 examples. Like that one is one of them. That's 2, right? So you need to do one more. So I'll do Command J of that, and then filter, Camera Raw filter, and then play with this again. I come in here to different things. Some of them not going to work because it take a little bit more detail, like blur, but you can do like option setting, direction. You can do it, store the images. I don't think you need to do that. But like maybe the details, right? Let's say you want to sharpen the edges. You can play with like, because this color have a lot of green, maybe you want to take the green out. Well, maybe your yellow or make it to a bluer tone. You can come to, add a little bit more highlight. And then like that darker area, what I would do, you can zoom in or zoom out, right? And then you can see, you can bring up exposure to really get these to get your picture to look as professional, as good as you can before you're submitting for grade, right? Once again, it's a national competition, and I would love you guys to spend some time just playing with this to improve your photography. It's just like, it's like a after effects of the photo. Hopefully that helped to improve your photo. For this exercise, once again, I'm going to ask you guys to use this file to have 3 different adjustments, and then use these to do one of your your final project. And of course, you do File, Save As, and then you can name it last name, underscore first initial, and then EXEIS202. And then make sure you drop that off for grade. When I come back, I'll grade them. Remember, you have to have 3 layers to do this, okay?